Welcome to Researcher Zukan. My name is Etsuko Osada. Today we have Dr. Yoshiaki Kuwata, a member of the Advanced Robotic Control Groups of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California Institute of Technology in NASA. Nice to meet you, Dr. Kuwata.
Nice to meet you too. I am Yoshiaki Kuwata. Being part of Researcher Zukan is my great pleasure. I live in Los Angeles. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Here it is a very nice place, isn't it? Would you tell us about your research?
Sure. My research topic is robotics, and now I'm researching a trajectory planning for unmanned vehicles using robust receding horizon control. I presented several trajectory optimization algorithms for both unmanned single vehicle and multi-unmanned vehicle teams operating in an uncertain and dynamic environment. The former is controlled by the robust, safe, but knowledgeable algorithm, and the latter is controlled by centralized, robust, safe, but knowledgeable algorithms, and a decentralized form of the robust, safe, but knowledgeable algorithm developed by having each vehicle optimized over its own decision variables, and then locally communicate the solutions to its neighbors.
Oh, it's fantastic. I feel like being in the world of science fiction. How did you demonstrate decentralized and centralized forms of trajectory optimization algorithms?
By means of three-dimensional motion with a new offline design procedure, or simulating on two multi-vehicle testbeds using rovers and quadrotors. I could demonstrate them.
Oh, I see. By the way, what obstacles are there when operating unmanned vehicles?
Let me see. I think censoring environmental changes and constraint under action of bounded external disturbances is the most difficult thing.
So, how do you try to resolve these problems?
In order to censor environmental changes and constraint, we build on the roadmap method in the robotics field and use multi-resolution planning, and there the trajectory planner optimizes detailed local plans over the horizon and connects it to approximate plans beyond the short planning horizon. The planning algorithm uses the multi-resolution receding horizon strategy.
Oh, really? That means you follow the roadmap and use multi-resolutional planning.
Yes, that's right. Other numerous techniques have been proposed in the past decade. For example, the constraint tightening approaches are useful and based on the idea of increasing the robustness of the controller by systematically tightening the constraints of the predicted states.
What is the advantage of using the constraint tightening method?
Yeah, an important advantage of the constraint tightening method is that the number of decision variables and constraints in the online optimization are unchanged from the corresponding nominal receding horizon control problem, so it is well suited for real-time applications. One approach is to solve this problem globally, but centralized algorithms typically scale very poorly with the fleet size because of the computational effort involved. A natural approach is to decompose the decentralized problem is to let each vehicle optimize its own decision variables. The vehicles then need to communicate the solutions with each other so that the fleet as a whole executes consistent plans.
Do you control multi-vehicles at the same time?
Yes, of course. With an increase in the mission complexity, unmanned vehicles, a tighter coordination among the vehicle fleet is becoming essential in the mission success. The coordination and control of multiple vehicles have many applications in the aerospace field, such as formation flying, spacecraft, cooperative search and track mission of unmanned aerial vehicles, and unmanned aerial vehicle rendezvous problems. To enable fleet-level cooperation, the controller must properly capture the complex interactions between the vehicles and tasks. The key challenge of so-called decentralized control is to ensure that the distributed decision-making leads to actions that are consistent with the actions of others and satisfy the coupling constraints indispensable to multi-vehicle continuous action.
You know, decentralized control is the core subject to moving multi-vehicles, isn't it?
Yes. A key challenge of decentralized control is to ensure that the distributed decision-making leads to actions that are consistent with the actions of others and satisfy the coupling constraints. Some approaches involve interactive negotiations between subsystems and apply game theory to study convergence. Decentralization is further complicated when disturbances act on the subsystems, making the prediction of future behavior uncertain.
Then how do you deal with future unpredictable behavior?
I use receding horizon control to tackle this problem so that the distributed planner is robust to withstand environmental uncertainties. And receding horizon control has recently drawn attention from a variety of fields because it can systematically handle constraints and multivariable systems.
What does the receding horizon control do?
In this situation, receding horizon control predicts its future behavior and generates control inputs that satisfy the constraints and optimize the performance objectives. The optimization is repeated online as the vehicle maneuvers and new measurements about the vehicle condition and about the environment are obtained. Each online optimization uses the current situational awareness, which is constantly updated based on the latest measurements and inputs from other vehicles.
Oh, I see. In order to operate unmanned vehicle effectively, one vehicle has to have a lot of information and moreover use other vehicles' information. By the way, why are you interested in this type of research?
In my childhood, I was interested in Osamu Tezuka's comic books, so I became interested in robotic research as a child.
I was also interested in Tezuka's Atom Boy, but unfortunately, I did not have enough motivation to study robotics. Robotics can bring the world many future dreams.
Yes, and the role of the unmanned aerial vehicle is now increasing. The primary advantage of unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, is that they can perform missions in dangerous environments, such as battlefields and devastated areas, without risking the life of the human pilots. The variety of application areas include war zones, surveillance, forest fire monitoring, disaster relief, and weather forecast. So trajectory planning for autonomous vehicles has been studied in many fields, including robotics, aerial vehicles, undersea vehicles, and spacecraft.
Oh, that's great. Your research will bring us a lot of benefit to our future lives. Well, why are you researching in the USA?
Yeah, the USA is a leading country in robotic research, so I am more likely to fulfill my potential in the USA.
What do you think is the difference between the working environment of America and the rest of the world?
Yeah, in the USA, I have access to unlimited funds for my research, and I'm helped by the best researchers in the world.
What is the biggest obstacles to your research?
The time restrictions are the biggest obstacles to my research.
By the way, what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, I like photographing the natural American landscape, and I like photographing the beautiful ocean.
The last question is, what is your favorite motto?
Never give up.
Okay.